It's spoiler alert time. This is a spoiler situation. Don't listen to this if you haven't seen Longlegs. And if you've seen Longlegs and you love it, but you're very confused, watch the shit out of this. Hi, guess who has a theory? What? No, that's so not on brand for me. Okay, it is. All right, so I got to watch Longlegs finally this weekend, and whoa, I really liked it, but is all over the place. The satanic stuff just wasn't like hitting. It felt like it was beside the point. It gave me this spidey sense that, holy shit, we got a metaphor moment. Yes. And as soon as the credits started rolling backwards, it all came to me. This, then what you're watching is a video about why Longlegs is actually a movie about the moral failure of forcing women to give birth. Fun. Just as fun as you thought the movie was about. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so the way I'm going to walk you through this is by taking you through the themes. This was very overwhelming. I have thoughts on every moment of this movie, but okay, tried to lump it into themes. And this first general theme is the movie wants you to know that women cannot be trusted and they need to be chaperoned by an authority because abortion. Okay, I don't think I need to explain why that tells you, just like if a woman says they would like to terminate a pregnancy, we should believe them. Here is why you can't trust women to know things like that about themselves or to know anything, really. We first see Lee Harker as an adult in the FBI room. And of course, you can't help but feel this Agent Starling moment. Let me first say that this is a movie written and directed by Osgood Perkins. I meant to say that at the top. And since I'm talking about Lee at first, let's say her name is Maika Monroe, because that's her name. So you're thinking, okay, this is a FBI agent, small woman surrounded by men, and she's going to get her groove and get empowered. But it's very important in this movie. She really never gets to get there. She's never given that trust. She's infantilized from the beginning, and she is at the end, I think. Agent Carter says, played by Blair Underwood, says to the room of men and women, men, one woman, all right, I'm going to pick everybody's partner so that no one's feelings get hurt. Now, as soon as the word feelings comes up, I immediately know he's throwing that word right at her. That we don't talk about feelings when we're talking about men. And Lee makes a face, and it's not a good one. So, this has happened before. Maybe people don't want to partner with her because she's a woman, whatever it is. This isn't fun for her. Then we cut to Lee with her partner in the car, and they're looking for a killer. They get out and start knocking on doors in a neighborhood where all the houses look alike, and all of a sudden she gets a sense and says, that's the house. Without a doubt, that's the one. He believes her enough to go check it out, but isn't listening to her after the fact. He gets it, let's go kill some killers, And sorry, guys are awesome. Sorry. And she's like, wait, and he isn't listening, and then killed, shot in the head. And that's terrifying as fuck. But she gets herself together. She is clearly scared. And the sound in this movie is so good. I mean, you hear every breath. But she goes in that house, and it is very serial killery in there. I don't know how any cop is ever like totally sure it's time to turn. I'm thinking too early. Look over there. But anyway, she does that thing. She gets all the way to the guy's bedroom. And the next thing you know, she's in some sort of like Agent Orange, like not Agent Orange. What's the thing when they do psychological experiments in the army? MK Ultra scenario. But wait, what we do learn is that no, she got that killer into custody. She didn't even have to kill him. She didn't even have to die. She did her job, and she's psychish because now we see her in this MK Ultra situation where we don't know if she's been captured by the killer and he's doing this. It just turns out the FBI is giving her some tests to see how psychic she is. Turns out she's half psychic, which I love that is a breed of person in this world. That's awesome. But she's impressed, the higher ups, and now she's going to be working directly with Agent Carter on a bigger case, one that's been going on for years and years, of a serial killer. But like, she's not made to feel like she's awesome, or it's more just like, let's milk this cow, which is part of a coded message. There's a milk tits reference, if I'm not mistaken, in the first cipher. Anyway, that we hear decoded. Let's milk this woman for all of her psychic abilities, but let's not trust her. We're still going to show her what to do. You know what I'm saying? All right. So we see the way she works. It's working for her. She falls asleep. Agent Carter's not impressed with that. He's already telling her, okay, you need to go take a break. You need to do this, whatever. Not trusting her methods, but you're not mad at him, right? Because there's something paternal in it. There's something like, oh, he's going to take care of her. What a nice man. Because we are conditioned to feel that way. That is how I felt about him. And then he's like, let's go get a drink. She's like, I don't drink and I'm tired. And he's like, let's go get a drink. So already, let's not trust what the Agent Lee needs. Lee needs to listen to me. He then drinks too much, and now he's Lee's problem. Take care of him, Lee. Take him home. And he's also in trouble with his wife and his daughter because he's out too late. Okay, well, that's another weird situation to put your young protege in, but whatever. She'll get you off the hook because you're in the doghouse. So come inside, meet the family. I don't want to. Do I have to? Do it, because I need a buffer, Lee. And now that you're in here and you've had this wonderful, awkward conversation with my family, you're clearly not a people person, Lee, but whatever. I'm going to force you into these molds. Go into my daughter's room and talk to her for some reason, which no matter why they did it, it's infantilizing or just infuriating either way. Either, hey, you're a 12-year-old and you're a 12-year-old. Go play the way we do with children. Or it's, you're a woman. Clearly you want to go take care of my child, right? This would never have been asked of a male FBI agent. In fact, it would be insane. The last evidence I have to this movie wants you to know that you can't trust women and that they need guidance. They need guidance. They're so silly with their wombs. Is that when Lee gets her psychic moments and is sensing things, she gets these red flashes. And one of them, and the sound you hear is a hissing. It's a snake. So, original sin, even the garden, her spidey sense is connected to her witchy powers and the reason why she's trouble, or just wants you to remember snakes. Ladies bad. Devil fun. Next theme. Movie makes sure to show you moms who are detached from their daughters. And daughter matters in this movie. I think that it could apply to a son or whoever just as much for the metaphor that I'm saying, which is that a woman forced to carry a pregnancy to term may not be the most in the position to give a kid what the kid needs. I'm not saying that that's true. I'm saying that this movie is showing you examples of that having happened. By when we meet Carrie Ann is played by Alicia Witt. Nope. That bitch is not. Nope. Carrie Ann is played by Kiernan Shipka of the Mad Men variety. When we see her in the psych ward, and one of the things she says that stands out is that her mother hated her right away because she came out wrong. She's having a flashback as she's telling us that sentence. So what we're seeing is an up close shot of the mom's stomach, her own mom, and she backs away, and we see, she's got a stomach of a mom who gave birth, something that happens to women that is hard for, it can be hard the way pregnancy changes your body. But on top of that, she's got a gnarly vertical cesarean scar, which if you've ever had a cesarean, those go the other way, or they're not. That baby came out wrong. Okay, so Carrie Ann's not wrong. And then the next scene is the mom stabbing the doll, which is a stand-in for Carrie Ann. So it's like, yeah, you didn't forgive Carrie Ann for what she did to your stomach. Now you're fucking up her stomach. Like, I get it. Ouch. Okay. And then there's a moment with Ruth. Have I mentioned Ruth yet? If I have, just so you know, her name is Alicia Witt, the actress. That's Lee's mom, Ruth. She mentions in this, like, it's almost like she's talking to herself, and she's a million miles away in her head, and she's talking about that birthday, and you get the sense she means birth of kid day, like not a birthday. There was so much blood, and that's not normal. So much cake, so much ice cream, not gushing blood. All right. Also, you get it in the performance too. Ruth is cold and weird and patronizing, and is like, it cares very deeply, is obsessed with her daughter, but hates her, and kind of, it seems like her life has been about her daughter, which doesn't always mean your mom loves you when that happens. And one of the more scary moments between the two of them is when she gets really stern with her and says to Lee that you were allowed to grow, or something in that vein of, you know how many people don't get to grow? Or I let you grow. You're grown because I let you grow. And it's like, okay, all right. So my birth was such a big inconvenience to you. And then you having to actually parent me after that was quite the burden. I'm understanding. Ruth also hauntingly mentions more than once one time to soothe Lee, which not soothing, and another time as like in more of like a traumatized way, says no family ever came to see us, no big bad wolf. And I think those two choices are an interesting pairing. The family maybe being the most obvious metaphor adjacent, because if you're from a religious house and you do find yourself pregnant, either just because you're young or out of wedlock, your family, of course, will not be okay with you having an abortion, but in those instances might send you away to a special school. Maybe you'll go to a nunnery, maybe out of sight, out of mind, but in some kind of way, those women can find themselves exiled, or maybe just the black sheep, maybe just not the favorite anymore. And if you are a child of a lot of siblings, that's definitely going to get you in black sheep territory. So something about her lifestyle, and we have no remnants of a husband that, like, if a husband had died, we'd certainly have heard that. But they just were together, just mother and daughter. That's all we know. So she's a very lonely woman, and to the point that even family won't come see her. Of course, the big bad wolf. That's interesting. Of all the things that could be in the forest, you pick this one, and that folklore is about a male predator, about a someone stalking a young woman who is out on her own, maybe for the first time, being independent. And she wore a little Red Riding Hood. Interesting. You pick that color of menstruation, but also it's a provocative color, an alluring color. Did you attract that beast? Did you want it? Did you want to get completely torn apart by this man in your little outfit? Well, maybe if you'd stayed at home, maybe if you'd stayed where you were supposed to be. So all things that are brought down upon you are your fault, and it's really hard to kind of feel bad for you, Riding Hood. So anyway, interesting two things that never came to see them at her mom's house. The character Ruth is styled a lot like the character Carrie in the movie from 1976 by the same name. Although the mom has more in common with Carrie's mom, the movie maybe only has a few moments to like show you these parallels, but they're there. So they show you the most iconic moment. She has her long 70s hair and she is drenched in blood. And so if you were going to make a Carrie moment, that's the one you make. And it's an interesting choice because that is a movie about a religious mother who is overprotective of her daughter, but also disgusted by her and obsessed with her purity, mad at her for getting her period. She can't help it. Hard to hold those in. And in the movie Carrie, the mother is impregnated by a man that she marries, but she has sex with him once before marriage. And then one time after he's drunk, after they're married, he forces himself on her. So we can assume that Carrie is the product of a rape. And that mom, being as religious as she was, certainly wouldn't have had the option to have abortion. So what is your option? Hate your daughter. Smart. Also, be scared of your daughter's womb because look what it did to you, right? All right. Next theme that lets you know that this is about the flimsy nature of the moral claim Christians have on abortion being the sin, abortion being the worst thing that could happen. And that is because they show you in this movie that it is not until the church is at your doorstep is darkness let into these houses. And it's all done through a scam of a Ruth's mom dressed as a nun of just whatever church, whatever, she's nun coded, trustworthy, and that there's a gift. You were entered in a raffle, remember? It is kind of a luck of the roll of the dice if you're going to get pregnant each time, right? So, but the gift is a child. And don't we all think of children as a gift from God, or at least we've heard that expression. Obviously it's a doll, but it's an exact replica of their own kid, and it's yours whether you want it or not. A nun just gave it to you. Take the fucking kid. The kid is left in your house, and destruction starts, and you destroy yourselves from within. Where's the nun? Back in her fucking VW Bug, because she's off to the next house with the next kid to gift that child to another family that didn't fucking ask for it, didn't enter the raffle. So there, I think I just proved the shit out of that. My last theme, the last weirdness of this movie that tells you that this is a movie about birth is the focus on birthdays. They're arbitrary. We all have one. I guarantee you. We all get overly excited about our own birthday when really it's, what are we achieving except for we just keep living? And nothing can like tell you how like kind of a weird sheen and a weird focus we have on births as being like the ultimate way to go, is having this very creepy man, Longlegs, played by Nicolas Cage, singing happy birthday to you. You're a stranger. My own mom wouldn't give a shit to sing happy birthday to me like that. My own mom wouldn't be so pumped to be like, who's the birthday girl? You're the birthday girl. Like it's such a big fucking achievement. Like we all get to be the birthday girl if we're women. So this isn't a big moment for me. You're being too into it. And I think that's what's so effective and what's so creepy about it is like, you have no business being this happy about this totally mundane thing going on with me. And I think that's the point. The church is very obsessed with this one thing, this thing of me being born. Birth is at conception and ends at birth. Nope. Life is from conception and ends at birth. Because once you're out of the mom, I've got no plan for you. I just, my goal was to get you here. Now figure it out, motherfucker. And so we're told that Lee's mom did this ultimate sacrifice, even if you go with the Satanism part and the things that Lee's mom did over and over to keep her daughter alive. Who fucking asked you? No, Lee, if Lee had known what you were doing, would she have wanted you to keep going? That you're tormenting yourself, you're living a life you didn't want so that I can keep living? I didn't fucking ask you to. I'm Lee right now. And what has it done for Lee? She's an FBI agent who is psychic, who is solving murders, or getting murderers in jail. And what has that gotten her? Hasn't gotten her respect. It hasn't made her safe from male predators, even in her own house. It hasn't gotten her closer with her mom. Lee is a person who was raised by a traumatized person who did not teach her how to rely on other people or build strong bonds. So do we ever see Lee have any friends? Do we see Lee empowered? No, not really. Lee's going through the motions and seems to be in a dream and is not living a life. If you're in a dream, you're not in a life. So thank you, Lee's mom. I'm not sure really what your big sacrifice did when it really caused more harm. And that's the point, right? Like, why do you care? Why do you care what these women are doing with their bodies? You're causing more harm. And now the cycle continues. That's the point. It's a cycle. Lee is now in Agent Carter's house and she thinks she's helping by making sure that daughter lives. Agent Carter's daughter lives. She kills who she needs to kill, who isn't killed already. And okay, great. Now there's a 14-year-old in this world without a family, and the cycle continues. Now Agent Carter's daughter can figure out what to do with all the big bad wolves on her own, and she can do it without any family support, just like Lee. This is a more conspiratorial way to look at it, or maybe it's the most obvious thing, is that Osgood Perkins is the son of Anthony Perkins, who is the star of the most famous movie about what a boy does when he has an unstable, cruel mother. So, this is my issue. I get obsessed with these theories, and I think I'm the only one in the world that's figured it out until I've started thinking of every single possible thing that actually makes my theory right. And by the end of it, I'm like, everyone already knows this. What are you doing? Why are you making a 20-minute fucking video about it? So if you've got thoughts and they're nice, let me know. If you already knew this, lie to me. Okay, I love you. Goodbye.